Hello!
Hello AOS fans!
It's the Agents of Sigmar.
And in this video we're taking another dive into the Mirrored City with the new rivals of the Mirrored City box for Warhammer Underworlds. And in this video we're looking at the big guy.
Oh, we're getting our Mollogs out.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you all the changes. And I'm going to start with the big one, really. The big guy, the big change. And that is that he's lost a wound.
Ooh! He was the only 7-wound fighter.
Or no longer.
Ooh.
He is now a 6-wound fighter.
Ooh, interesting.
He's still got a 3 move and 1 shield.
Mm.
And that all stays the same when he's inspired. So he doesn't get any extra wounds or anything. He does stay at 6 wounds all the way through. His inspired mechanic is the same, so he has to take 3 damage. And then he inspires, but that just feels to me, like how many people would injure him just to get him inspired, help him inspire.
If
now
he'd already
taking him down to like
50% wounds left.
That seems like that's quite a thin line.
That's one-shotable territory very easily. Then
he does have a extra little thing now. It's called Mighty.
His big Mollogs has got a little thing.
It's called Mighty as well.
Okay.
He's got a Mighty thing, which basically means if you would deal 4 or more damage to Mollog, you only deal 3.
Oh, okay. Only 3.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So you can't like build up a big Mollog killing attack and like.
But I used to do with fuel back in the day, giving the ones to double his damage and do 8 damage and go get lost.
He would actually be 3. So fuel would be totally pointless to do that because fuel's attack is 4.
But he is still double, just 2-shot territory.
You can still 2-shot him, but you can't 1-shot him anymore.
Okay.
He's also steadfast and cannot be driven back.
Ooh, okay.
The other thing is, and I've almost admitted it by omission, is that he no longer has that confusing double move.
Oh, the ability to move and move again, or charge and charge again.
That's all gone, and that's been FAQ'd into the ground, probably more than Varklav have been FAQ'd. That's all gone. So basically he's just got Mighty and he's just got Steadfast. His attack profiles are identical, inspired and non-inspired to the old ones.
Same as before.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about the little squigglies?
So the squigglies, they're all beasts, they're all minions.
Yep.
They, bats can fly. Wow. And they all inspire when Mollog's either dead or taken 3 wounds.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you could kill him without him taking 3 wounds. I don't know how that can happen, but maybe there's a possibility. Yeah. I'm not sure there is. So Bat Squig gets a little bit better. Okay. He goes up to 3 Fury instead of 2 Fury for his attacks. Which is better. Still only 1 damage though, but much more accurate. And he's got a flapping ability, which basically means fighters within 1 hex can't go on guard.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Yeah, I think so. In guard, it does happen.
Yeah,
So it's not. I don't think it's as strong as it would have been at some points in the history of the game, but it's still pretty good. But it does mean that might help you with Mollog. Yeah. Just because it stops people going on guard and protecting themselves from Mollog. Bat Squig does go to 3 Fury, 2 damage when he is. Oh, okay. So that's pretty good.
It gets a bit nasty.
His profile is the same as it was, which means he doesn't still inspire to 5 move and 3 dodge.
Oh, 3 dodge.
3 dodge. Who doesn't love 3 dodge?
So we've gone from Flappy McFlappy to, let's go to the least manoeuvrable one, the Stalag Squig. What's gone on with him? Okay,
he was always a bit nondescript, really, just being a lump of rock. And he still kind of is, but he's had a few subtle changes which make him interesting.
Okay.
He's got the same profile, so he can't move, and it actually explicitly states that he can't make move actions. So I don't know if there's ever a way of making him be able to move, but you can't give him +2 move or anything like that and then make him move. He can't make move actions. His setup placement, if you remember, he had the only setup placement where you waited until the end of the game. You could put him on any empty hex.
Yes.
Well, you can still put him on any empty hex, as long as it's not got an objective in it.
Okay, because you used to be able to put him on an objective before as well, and that would proper stuff people up.
That's true, actually. Yes, you could. It's now not done at the end. So it also used to be done at the end. So you could put it, so you have to do it as part of your setup. Yeah. So
but he can go into your opponent's half.
But he can go into your opponent's half. Yes. Okay. When he's uninspired, he no longer has an attack profile.
Ooh, there's not many fighters that don't have an attack profile at all.
No, exactly. And instead he has the menace ability, which makes all the hexes around him snare hexes.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting.
That could be quite handy to put somewhere where you know there's going to be a main thoroughfare. And,
exactly. I feel like you offset and put him somewhere in the middle so that anybody... You've got to be careful though, because you don't want to make it so that Mollog has to run through it and get staggered.
Oh, that's true.
But you want to try and... I guess you put it closer to your opponent's half, so they have to get staggered.
Yeah.
To come at you if they want to, and then if they are staggered, then obviously that helps with Mollog's accuracy because, like you say, he's only got two hammers. When he's inspired, still has menace, and then he gains access to a 2-hammer 1 damage attack, which has cleave as well.
Oh, okay. No, I think it was very similar to his old profile.
I think it was pretty much the same. He's always on guard, and he can't be pushed, so you can't use push tech to move him around the board.
Can't distract him or anything like that.
No, exactly.
So then on to the third and final, the Spite Shroom.
So he hasn't changed very much. I mean, he was fairly nondescript. Nobody can remember what he did anyway. But that's pretty much the same. His attack action is the same. His profile is the same. But with the attack action, it's now just given scything. It used to have the text for multiple attack or whatever. He's got a nasty spore reaction. If you remember, he had a thing where if he died,
he'd explode and do a damage to everyone.
Do everyone around. That's gone.
Right.
Instead, he's got nasty spore. Well, it is a shame, but it used to always never come off because I think rage 2 attack and you were done.
Yeah.
So nasty spore is a reaction to an activation step where a model was moved, pushed, or driven back into a hex adjacent to Spike's room, and then you do 1 damage.
Oh, that's not bad. So you've got a potential for almost your own live-in lethal hex.
Yeah.
With Mollog knocking people into the Spike's room.
Exactly. So you no longer have to wait till he's dead.
Okay, so the fighters have had a fair few tweaks and changes about them. Not least of all Mollog, who's definitely been FAQ'd to hell and back and is now a bit more of a stable fighter, I think.
He seems less oppressive.
So let's talk about the objectives. What do their objectives look like?
Well, they've had quite the overhaul. Although I did struggle a little bit when making this because we barely played Mollog for various reasons, and so I couldn't really remember what was strong, what wasn't strong, and stuff. So, but there aren't any the same.
Right.
There aren't any.
Everything's changed.
Yeah. I don't know whether some of the functionality might be the same, but all the names have changed. And there's a few that lean into the squigs now.
Okay.
There's a surge card called Natural Hazards, which basically you score if a fighter who isn't Mollog takes somebody out of action. I feel like that card might have existed.
Yeah, I think there was the one before.
But because the squigs are a little bit better now, that feels a bit more possible.
Yep.
Ignore at your peril. 1 surviving minion and a minion not adjacent to an enemy. That's not a search card, it's an end-phase card, but I feel like that's very, very scoreable depending on what you do with Stalag Squig. You probably, I don't think, would sacrifice positioning with Stalag Squig just to score that, but you Spike Shroom could certainly be lurking somewhere out the back and score you that. Get Got, which is when a minion makes a successful attack action. Bat Squig's going to be trying to score that one.
Yes.
And which is have an unfriendly Mollog inspired and 3 minions surviving. That seems quite hard. That's a search card.
Yeah, that does feel a bit tricky.
Yeah. So another slightly odd one is Are You Sure It's Asleep, which is an end phase card, and you have to have a Mollog in enemy territory and had made no super actions.
That feels like a card you'd never take.
I don't think you would take them. And obviously in Rivals you've got a choice, but I feel like I mean maybe if you move in round 1 and then you're just there laying
if you're
waste.
not making any actions.
No super actions.
Oh, no super actions.
No super actions.
Maybe with no super actions it might be a bit.
It's not a turn 1 card.
No.
And then Looming Menace and Stay Away are a couple of cards that have score X and then score a bit more if you fulfill certain other criteria, which the Goblins have quite a lot too, so we'll talk about that again. But in Stay Away, you have to have no enemy fighters in your territory, and you get 1 extra glory if it's turn 2 or 3 when you do that. So that's fairly straightforward card. Okay. And then Looming Menace, you score if there are no enemies within 2 of Mollog, or you get 1 more if Mollog killed somebody. So I think that
can be quite doable.
Yeah, well,
just run in, club someone to death. No one else goes near him because they don't want to touch him, and then you score. You score a couple of glory. So not too bad.
Yeah, so that's the objective highlights.
So after objectives, we've got the gambits. We've got the power cards. The gambits first.
Yeah, I'm quite bad at looking at cards thinking, oh, that's really good or that's really bad. But these don't feel very strong to me. I mean, I have to play them with Mollog and see how they pan out, but they don't feel exceptionally strong. You've got Always About, which is quite nice. It enables you to bring a squig back.
It enables Beetles to turn up.
Beetle squig. It enables you to bring a squig back on any starting hex with a charge counter. And then Angry Bellow, you can stagger a fighter within 2 of Mollog, which is going to be pretty useful for Mollog because it helps him with the accuracy as we talked about before. Insatiable Appetite gives +1 dice to the first minion attack in the next activation. And then if 2 or more enemy fighters are out of action, it adds Grievous. It's quite a good late game card, maybe. If Mollog's dead now and you want to make Bat Squig a bit better. Tee Up the Target is a card I really like the idea of. It's basically Mollog sort of sizing you up and then before he smashes you in the face. And it enables you can re-roll rolls of double supports in the next activation. It could be clutch if you get one, but if you don't, I'd much rather have a re-roll of dice.
Just a general re-roll,
much better. I love the idea of it, but and then Tracking Intruders is another interesting card. And again, I think it's good at the end of a round 1 or 2. It enables a friendly fighter, so any friendly fighter, to make a move action, but then you can't attack.
Okay.
So I could sort of see if you've got Mollog out of position, you've killed somebody and he's out of position turn 4, and then you play that and move him into position, set up for the next round. That's really good.
Or help score that other objective.
Yes.
If just have no one nearby and stuff.
Yeah. But otherwise, I could see it being a bit of a card with, I've got this, but I don't actually want to play it.
Yeah. So then obviously at the end of that we have the upgrades left. So what's going on with them?
So upgrades, the first one of note is Wound Up. I really quite like this card. Do you remember when and we didn't play Mollog very often.
No.
Now Mollog was a negative play experience more generally for your opponents.
Yeah.
But do you remember there was the odd game where you play with Mollog and you just, because he's only 2 hammers, you just keep missing.
Yeah.
So you just can't score anything, and then they cut him down. This card stops that from happening a little bit. When his range 2 attack action fails, so you can't do it on his silencing attack action.
Yeah.
But when his range 2 attack action fails, he gets an anger counter. And then when he's got an anger counter, he can re-roll 1 dice in the attack action.
Nice.
And then once he's made a successful roll, they go.
Okay,
so
that's nice.
It's not too oppressive, but it's like, oh, I've missed. Well, at least next time I've got slightly more chance of hitting.
I like that, that's a nice one.
So Chuck 'em In is a fun card. It's for Mollog only, and he gets the hurl reaction. And he's effectively just picking up a squig and throwing it. So you have a choice. You can either use it to stagger a fighter within 5 hexes, and then you break the card.
Yep.
Or you can pick up a minion within 2 hexes and throw them 4 hexes, and put them 4 anywhere 4 hexes away. So that's quite good. And you can move Stalag Squig as well.
I was going to say, you can pick up Stalag Squig and then chuck them into a more annoying position onto an objective.
And stagger people, stagger people. So that's quite nice.
That's cool.
And it's a reaction as well. It's not like it's an action. So
nice.
you basically can move Mollog and then effectively
grab him
take as he's moving.
Yeah,
that's
quite
quite
cool.
like. Yeah. Fresh Menaces, completely unexpected card, enables you to bring a minion back.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's a reaction to them being taken out of action.
Yep.
And then you can put them back in an empty hex in your territory.
Nice.
And then you break the card, so you can't keep
doing it, but that's quite nice.
Card for you in the next one, Grump. It's a Mollog specific card, and it allows you to remove a charge counter if you took a target out of action.
Nice.
But if you do take it, you break the card.
But still, double charge.
Yeah,
you get the Mollog double charge going on once. You get to taste a little bit of the old days, but
without it being too oppressive.
Yeah.
Spark of Sentience is quite a nice card. You can put it on a minion, and then after they've activated, you can draw a card.
Oh, cool.
I don't know how often you get to use it because you don't activate the minions that often, but it could be good towards the end of the game if Mollog's dead and you are trying to do stuff with them, and maybe you're trying to find some cards that are useful.
But also, if you get it early, get it on a squig, and even if you're just like putting them on guard or something like that,
true.
You could do that to farm some cards before you then make that charge with Mollog or something.
Yes.
So how do you feel overall that they've done with Mollog?
As I said at the top of the video, it's quite hard to get a feel for how much he's changed because I can't really remember what he was like. He feels a lot less oppressive.
Yeah.
And I have to say, having listened in your other videos to the descriptions of Scritch and the Thorns, I don't feel like he's
that menace that he used to be.
Package that they seem to have.
Yeah.
He's just the Mollog because he's not the complete package. But time will tell because it's really hard. I think with a fighter, I think with a fighter as strong as Mollog, the cards have to be a bit weaker. Because if he had strong cards, he'd be
absolutely overpowered.
So I think it's a case of playing him, but I don't feel frightened of playing him.
He definitely doesn't terraform me as much as he used to with his 7 wound stuff. Now he's down to 6. Because you still have that problem that if you do charge in and try and take him out, you're just getting closer to his club, and you've always got that worry that he's just going to 4 damage attack, taking people out all over the place.
And I do feel like Mollog is he's a bit Marmite, the model, but I really like the Mollog model, and I've seen some really beautiful.
I absolutely hate.
And I've seen some. I like the mushrooms. You see, I've seen some really beautiful paint jobs of him with them, with sort of like luminous mushrooms and what have you. And it's a real shame that the people who've done that don't get to put him on the table very often. So it'll be nice to see Mollog back on the table. I think. Sorry, Matt. But I just don't think he's going to be.
He's not as divisive as he used to be.
I don't think so.
Which is good because we've had lots of big guy warbands since Mollog. He was the first, and he was possibly
the worst. First the worst.
It was, yeah. But I feel like they've learnt from later warbands, your Hrothgorns and your Canaan's Reapers and stuff, and they've tinkered with him enough to make him not as bad as he used to be, but still quite a nasty surprise.
It will be interesting to see whether because. All of those big warbands have never had much impact on the meta.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I don't think Mollog will either, but it'd be interesting in their right.
I think now they've got rid of his inbuilt ability to do a double charge.
Yeah.
That's a very big change, and that was kind of what was so broken before. Now they've got rid of that apart from that one upgrade, which isn't a guarantee either. I think they've definitely he's mellowed out as time's gone on, so maybe he'll be not quite so horrible as he used to be. So don't forget to like, subscribe and ring that bell. Leave a comment below to let us know what you think of Mollog, and if you fancy supporting us, do check out Patreon as well. Everything you put in, we drive back into the channel and just helps us make more content.
And if you've watched all of these videos, you'll be thoroughly fed up of us saying that.
Exactly. So do check out the other videos we've done in this series and let us know on those videos what you're looking forward to most or which warband's your favourite. And we'll see you soon in the Mirrored City.